Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we are going to be doing another Market Watch video. It's about almost 6:30 p.m. Standard Eastern Time, but we're going to be doing another Market Watch video, and we're going to be focusing on a whole bunch of different things. Meta-relevant stuff, the new set that's going to be dropping in a week or so that's going to have Minerva, Crystal Wing, things of that nature. Other cards that may go up because of that. Cards that will probably get printed in that set if we look at Premium Pack 2017 that was released in the OCG, so cards that should be imported, because usually when it's a Premium Pack we usually always get the same exact cards. So giving you a heads up even though Konami hasn't announced it yet. So let's go over first the new recent set that got released, which was the Magician set. Pendulum Calls are actually up. It looks like there was a small buyout recently on Pendulum Calls, because I remember I picked these up when the set dropped for like 60 cents, like a buck. Like most everything in this deck, in this set, from Pendulum Evolution that was just dropped, this past Friday, is dirt cheap. But somebody brought out Pendulum Calls, and they have jumped up in price to about, for the supers, to about $420, $430. So I would expect that price to go down. Performance Pal Jokers as well, it looks like somebody brought out. If you remember my last Market Watch video, I kind of said that if these get reprinted as supers, these will probably go up in price. But this looks like a forced buyout. I think it's going to go down. The fact that there's only 7 total prices, and there's a lot of people that still, they haven't opened the boxes, but there's some people that are still opening their boxes. And from what I saw from box openings, people were getting a play set of Performer Power Skull Combat Joker, a play set of Pendulum Call, supers. So I would expect over time this price will go down. But as of right now, they are the most expensive cards in the set, about $250 and $430. And then after that, it's Harmonizing Magician, which is, this set is super cheap. The nice thing about it is you buy a box, you get everything you need, and then some. It has some decent, and I use that word very loosely, prints. But the nice thing is all the Magicians are hollow. So that's kind of nice. But besides that, I just wanted to mention about this Performance House Skull Cat Joker and Pendulum Call, but I would highly suggest that those prices are going to go down, so don't freak about it. These two cards we need to talk about. Dragonic Diagrams, thanks to Imcolt 40 with his Lightly Played, which I would assume pretty much means near mint, considering it's from him. Usually if it says Lightly Played, that usually means near mint, I find, for reputable sources like Imcolt 40, Imcolt Games. But for the most part, it's floating around the low 50s to even below 50, as you see here. If we look on eBay very quickly, they're not that low, but I would expect them to get lower as time goes on. You see a play set, though, is for, 3 for 155, which is about 55 a pop. You see 53, you see 59. I mean, it's around that range of the low 50s, but on TCG Player it is cheaper by a long shot. I would say after Nationals you're going to see this card definitely hit somewhere around this range you see right here, which is Lightly Played, so probably around 45 until the ban list comes out, because either Konami is going to hit the card to 1, hit it to 2. They're either going to touch it or not touch it, and if they don't touch it, it's going to go back up in price extremely fast. Like, it's going to jump from 50 or 45, whatever the price is at the time, to $70, $80, like that, and within an hour or two after the ban list is announced. If it does get hit, it's going to drop even more. But I would, as a player, if you're wondering where you should put your money at, should you put it in Dragonic Diagrams or Ash Blossoms? I would throw it at the Ash Blossom, because that's a hand trap. It's a good hand trap. It's going to be relevant, and it's a good, in the long run, it's not going to probably get hit by the ban list, I would say, at the moment, and you're going to get more mileage out of it, so to speak. And Ash Blossoms are down to 50 right now, a solid $50. If you look on eBay, solid $50. even going, as you see here, for 47 best offer. So you could probably get a couple cheaper on that. 2 for $90. So they're going for about 50 at the moment. This is just weird. But yeah, or best for 50. So they're floating at 50 and going below for ash blossoms. And I think after Nationals, the U.S. Nationals, that's going to be coming up here, the North American Nationals, this price is going to drop through the roof. It's probably going to go down to 40 or 45. Because they've dropped like a rock lately. And because people are selling things off. Masterpieces, I remember somebody said Masterpiece is never going to go below $20. I said it's probably going to eventually. They're below $15. Masterpieces have gone down in price. The main reason for Diagram and Masterpiece, I understand, is because of speculation of from what we saw from the OCG ban list and how that would transition to the TCG ban list. Ash Blossom kind of surprises me. But then again, you know, it doesn't, because prices always go down over time usually, and then they go back up once the card's out of print. Let's talk about Yang Zings here for a second. Now, the reason I'm bringing up Yang Zings, besides Zefraxi, which is still maintaining a price for the ultra rare, even though it just got reprinted, is because if you pay attention to the OCG, Yang Zing Dinos are a deck now with pretty much Zodiacs being neutered and the True Kings pretty much Diagram being hit to 1 and a Masterpiece being hit into 1. People are still running Yang Zings, and I've seen this transition from people picking up on the OCG that as we head into an early link format, if our ban list is anything similar to the last 2 ban lists that the OCGs had, then I could see Yang Zing Dinos being a deck in the early link format. It's a good deck, I would say. I've even picked up the stuff a little bit because I love Dinos, but yeah, it's something I would say to invest in, and keep an eye out for that Chi win, because these prices have been going up. I bought mine for $3 a piece about a week and a half ago when I saw that, and they've shot up to around $5, $6 now, $7 for stuff like that. And the Jiaotus are cheap still, but look at things like Suwani. Megatin Suwanis are sold out. Danglongs have gone down in price a lot. But you look at just the Duelist Alliance ones, $4 or $5. Those have gone up. I bought them for like $1.50 a couple weeks ago. I remember when this card came out, it was like 70 cents. Ugh. But you see that mainly Suwani and Pathway to some extent, not so much Pathway, but I'm just showing you Yang Zing stuff in a nutshell is actually worth some money, especially Suwani and what's his name? I'm having a brain fart. And Shiwin. So I'm just letting you guys know that. Urgent Ritual Art. Now, you guys remember this got hyped up, I think, back in November and December. It's still worth $5 as a secret rare. And then if you guys know, we got announced a new spirit monster. And if you don't know the Ritual Spirits that just came out, what was it out of? Raging Tempest. I forget the name is the Shino Birds. The Shino-Bird archetype, it works with the new Ritual monster very well. So Urgent Ritual Art did go up in price and is played in the deck still, from what I know from testing it. I mean, I haven't tested it out with the new card, but it's a card that does work with that deck. And Urgent Ritual came out of Dimension of Chaos and was not reprinted in the Mega Pack, which means it goes up in price because there wasn't a reprint. I wouldn't be surprised in 2 to 3 months if they do anything in link format. Spirits do, that this card could go up a little bit in price. Maybe $8, $9. You never know. But literally on eBay, it's the same thing. They're about $5.50, almost $6 a piece. So if you have this card in bulk, there's a $6 card almost. Amazon Queen. Now, the reason I'm bringing Amazon Queen up is, number one, very shortly here, we're going to start getting the Amazon support. With the set coming out in a week, we're going to get a part of that Amazon support, and we'll get the rest of it in the Joey thing with the red eyes and all that, and the cyber darks and things of that nature. That's when we'll get the rest of it. But Amazon's Queen, remember I talked about this earlier this month, it was at $20 plus, and it's gone down a little bit, but not much. They're floating between 20. And unless there is a chance that it could get reprinted in the upcoming set, but if it doesn't, I don't believe it will. Then I don't think there's a chance that I don't think this card is on Konami's radar. It may be, but it's unlikely. But it's up to you. But like I said before, when I profiled this card originally on the Market Watch, it's a card you're probably going to have to run as a 1 or 2 of if you want to run the deck a certain way at the most optimal build for fun. But you should have picked them up a long time ago is all I'm saying. Pay attention. Transmodifies are still pretty expensive. They're about $7 still. Just wanted to point that out. 6 Samurai stuff. So we're just going to do a snapshot here of all the 6 Samurai stuff and how much it's gone up in price, which is amazing considering I have most of this stuff. 6 Samurai United from Turbo Pack. Oh, those cards have been expensive. Grand Masters. Holy majibus. My Ulti Shien non-first ed near mint is way over the price I bought. Shien, literally, the Ultis, when Storm of Ragnarok came out, they were like 35, 40. They dropped down to around 30 for a long time. It's literally Shien Ultis have gone back up to their original price to some extent. Now the ultra rares are $8-10. Kizan's I think Kizan's only had 1 reprint as a common, so Kizan's are going to go way up in price eventually. Even the freaking raw oh my gosh, I didn't know that. All Shiens are pretty much worth a couple bucks. Worth around $5. Any print of Shien, it looks like, is at least $5. Wow. Asceticism, it's always been a $2 to $3 card. This will go up even though the support sucks. Yeah, and here's the common reprint that came out of the structure deck. Oh my gosh. How much is Kagemusha Super? Huh, that's actually kind of interesting. I remember when these were like $4. They've gone down. Cunning of the 6 Samurai, sold out. No surprise there. I have my Super I used to run back in the day because it came out as a Super originally in Gladiator's Assault. Inishi. So it looks like the expensive stuff has gone up. Wow. Uniteds are $1 now. $1 were $2. Kagemushas have always been in bulk. They've been worth some money. Actually, they've always been worth like $1 to $2. Wow. Interesting. So, yeah, that's a snapshot. Let's also take a snapshot of Mega Phantom Beast, because if you guys remember earlier this week, we got Mega Phantom Beast support. Now, I think there's going to be more support released because that card hinted at a Link monster. I will say that. It hinted at a Mega Phantom Beast Link monster, which would be awesome for the deck, considering it has so much token generation. So hopefully more cards come out. But in a nutshell, you should know that your Dragosacks are about $9 to $8. Around $10 you probably could sell them for. And everything else is dirt cheap. So Dragosacks, $10. Everything else, dirt cheap. So let's talk about the collection pack. Talk about things that are going to be coming out. So as you see here, I guys don't know if you don't know this, but we're going to be getting pretty much the collection pack 17 in a week with things like Minerva, Omega, Trishula, good reprint stuff like that, yes. Anti-Spell Fragrance, some good cards from Starstrike Blast, I remember. So there's going to be some reprint stuff, but for new stuff, if you're wondering what most likely will be in there, here's the little stuff you're going to be getting. You're going to be getting Odd Eye stuff, DDD stuff, Super Heavyweight Samurai stuff, Abyss Actor stuff, Raid Raptors, Ninjas. You're going to get your Amazon stuff, which was why I was pointing out Amazon's Queen. you're going to get some of this stuff. Pretty much the fusion and the two fusions, the pet and the queen fusion. The tiger and the queen fusion. Then you'll get your gladiator beast stuff, which is another thing to point out. Once this Glad stuff officially gets announced, which most likely it's going to, I would expect the gladiator beast support stuff for the expensive stuff to go up to some degree. I would not be a bit surprised about it. So you could definitely check that out on your own. Destiny hero stuff, Time Lords have already been announced, and pretty much just the rest of the stuff here. So, saying all that, do know that. I mean, let's actually look it up quickly. I'll let you guys look it up yourself. But pretty much, I would say look into Gladiator Beast stuff. But yeah, till next time, guys, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. Hope this market watch was a little bit helpful. I would say look into Glad stuff because nostalgia equals money right now in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! It feels like, and it's summertime and people are selling their decks, so they got money to spend on older decks right now. I would feel like. But yeah, till next time, guys, take care, everybody. Good luck dueling to all of you.